Hugh Grant's done quite well being typecast.
Welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat. I'm your host, Big Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading the podcast. I certainly do appreciate it. And all the folks that have bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com, thank you so much for your financial support of this podcast, where we help to tell those beautiful, messy, human stories. Please welcome my guest this week, coming all the way from Arizona. It's Jen Greenfield. Jen. Did I say Greenfield?
The crowd goes wild.
I think I said Greenfield. I meant Greenfield. Green.
You said like Greenfield. Make it German.
Like the pastures that speckle the Phoenix landscape, right? The green fields. Jen, thank you.
They're called golf courses here.
That's absolutely true. Jen is a friend of mine from the voice acting community. We've met in some workshops and this, that, and the other as you bump into people, and probably at VO Atlanta and, different places like that. And I reached out and was like, "Hey, you want to do this thing?" And she was like all over it. And so I appreciate you so much, Jen. You are in the Phoenix area right now. Is that home to you? I mean, obviously it's home, which is where you're living, but I mean, born and raised.
Yeah, I love how you say that. I always say when people ask where I'm from, so I'm Army brat and retired Air Force wife. So when people say, where are you from? You're like, where was I born? Where do I live now? Or where have I lived the longest?
Right.
It's how do you describe home? But no, actually, I think this is my 14th move. Yeah, in my life.
Wow.
So started in Fort Benning, Georgia, ran the gamut of the U.S. on Army bases in Germany, came back to the States, met a charming officer in the Air Force, and then zip, zang, zoom. We went to Asia, we went to Europe, came back to the United States. So anyway, yes, during the pandemic, so needless to say, about every 2 to 3 years, I start getting the shakes, the moving shakes.
Right,
okay,
yeah.
We've been here. So when he retired, we bounced around a little in the Northeast and then found ourselves in San Antonio, Texas, which we enjoyed. The kids were late elementary, starting middle school, and then the pandemic happened. And one of the things you'll find out about me is I renovate homes. I've been a contractor in a past life. Well, still kind of do it, but we had totally renovated our house, and we kind of did do you want to move? And so my husband and I were like, I don't know. So we got out the map, said, where have we been? Where do we not want to be? And I had gotten into voiceover at that point, had a past in acting, mostly musical theater, so stage acting. And of course, all that just stopped.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't even tell you why. We just kind of did like a loop-de-loop, and then our finger landed on Scottsdale. Okay. And so, so we drove out here because you couldn't fly. So we drove out here, checked it out. We said, if we're going to move with the kids in middle school, we either have to move so they could start high school someplace, or we need to just stay. Yeah. Anyway, we came out, asked the kids, what do you think? They were like, yeah, let's move. So we did. Wow. And Scottsdale's been surprisingly, for this area, it's actually kind of central to get to Vegas, to get to LA, to get to Denver. I'm actually kind of we're in a nice little pocket to get to creative endeavors. So, that's really cool. So for now, it's home. The kids each have 2 years left of high school, so we'll see after that. You'll have to follow along for the adventure to see where we might go next.
I love that. So for your formative years, where were you? Where were you in, that kind of, middle school, high school time of life? Where were you? Was that still overseas? So we lived in Germany for the first part of elementary school. Then we were in Manhattan, Kansas for the second part of elementary school and first year of middle school. Then we moved to
Edmond, Oklahoma.
Wow.
So so I graduated high school and college from Oklahoma. So that's where I lived the longest. And then my parents and my brother still reside there. So
okay.
There you go.
Very cool. Very cool. So like I said, we met. You're in voiceover. You, I know you do on camera stuff. You're also a writer, and we'll talk about your holiday rom-com coming up. But like, was that always kind of a passion? Because you said you started as a contractor. Were you what they would call a tomboy? And you like swinging hammers and building things, or what?
Yes to everything. I joke that if you looked at my LinkedIn resume, you'd be like, good Lord, ADHD and squirrels have attacked this resume. Like, good luck tracking. I mean, I joke that I walked out of the womb singing Broadway show tunes. All I wanted to be as a kid was a Broadway actor. I got my first role in an opera at age 7. And once I got on I was street urchin number 1. I'll have you know, in the opera of Carmen. Very pivotal role. Very important to
yes, street urchin 1. I mean, unlike
1.
Street Urchin 2. I mean, come on,
Nope. But no, what was really humorous about it is I've always shocking. Always been a strong personality. I've always had an opinion. I have always been a creative. And interestingly enough, I can distinctly remember and my parents, they'll tell you, they don't have a lick of artistic creative. My brother is a prodigy musician. He is phenomenal. But my parents are like, we don't know. You came out and you were just this this thing over here.
You were the unicorn.
Yeah, you were the unicorn. But I remember the choreographer telling my mother, like, wow, Eva, your daughter gave us some, choreography tips and stuff for all the street. Or I was like, already taking over, which I actually did later become a choreographer. But no, once I got that taste of stage, being on stage and being in front of the audience, like I couldn't stop. I have. I don't know if you know Elise Meyer, but she has this adorable video. She goes, I have the how hard can it be gene? And I absolutely have that. And so what does that mean? Like, if I get a whiff of something, I'm like, let's do it. I don't like to use the word fearless because I don't know that, but I don't have another word for it, but that's kind of how I am. I am a trier of everything. I want to try everything. I want to be everything. I want to go everywhere. So I start, musical theater. That was really important to me. But then you learn, I need to know how to dance. I need to know I was a gymnast. I was a dancer. Then, and then there comes a point in my life when I'm a dance instructor. I'm a fitness instructor. I started choreographing musicals and show choirs for high schools all around Oklahoma. Wow. Then you get married. Now I'm doing the mom thing. Well, as I said, when you're moving every 2 years, nobody hires you. Like military spouses who are listening, they're like, we know, because they know by the time they train you, you're going to move. Or if you have a spouse who's deployed and you've got kids, you can't come into work, like it just, so every time we would stop at a new location, move, I'd create a job for myself. I'd create a business. I have had a sewing business. Again, I've been a fitness instructor and all the Army dudes would come in at lunch and I'd be the one, coaching their class and, anything like just creative. So the contracting part, when we finally kind of settled, when my husband finally retired, we found ourselves in Connecticut. So after I don't know how old I was. Whatever, however old I was, 40 years old or something, we bought our first house because you only can rent or you live on base housing when you're moving all the time. And so we got in there and it was an adorable 1960s colonial. And I looked around and I'm like, we change everything. And I was like, I know what I'm doing. And I know YouTube was a thing, but I kind of didn't know YouTube was a really understand it and how to kind of utilize it. So I did a lot of trial and error. But I started renovating the house, and wherever I would get stuck, I had this, I was given this contractor. His name was Bill, and we hired him for plumbing and electrical, but then he would also teach me. He was also like, okay, let me show you what we're doing. So I'm paying him, but he's also teaching me. Fast forward, we moved to San Antonio. I renovate another house. And then my neighbor happened to be a designer, and she had some really, really high-end clients. And she's like, can you build a laundry room? I got a client who needs it. I'm like, yeah, I can build a laundry room. So I get hired. I go build a laundry room. Yeah. Then she's like, hey, I've got this other project. And I'm like, you know what? So now I'm in like GC mode. So I'm like, you know what? I got an electrician. So all that to say, I have always had this entrepreneurial spirit, this creativity. And each time we land someplace new, it's like a new chapter. And that's the way I look at my life. And it's really fascinating. And I'm curious if you feel the same way. I'll do something and I'll go all in on it. Mm-hmm. And then, the squirrel ADHD in me goes, okay, I did that. And I find my kids will say, Mama, why don't you go back and, teach dance again? Or why don't you go audition for one of the, theater companies? Yeah. And it's funny because while I loved it and I had a passion for it in that chapter, I've turned the page. And I want to keep going and keep growing and keep doing. So that leads to what you touched on as part of the intro. I have written my first ever feature film. Yeah. Who saw that coming? Certainly not me. And I've had incredible support like you and so many other voiceover and acting colleagues who have just flooded in and just lifted me up and brought me so much support and joy. And so now we're on, I don't know what, chapter 62, probably. I don't know what page we're on, but so here we are pursuing this. Yeah. So, and it's been a culmination, all things, right? You're a product of your family, of your influences, of your experiences, of my travels, of the foods I've eaten, the people I've met, things I've tried and that worked, things I tried and they didn't work. Yeah. And you just get stronger and more resilient, more resourceful. And that's kind of me in a nutshell. Yeah. Strong, resilient, and resourceful.
Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. I mean, you seem to be the type of person, which this works out great in acting and voice acting, is you take bold choices. You make bold choices and you stick to them. And then, but like you said, with the things that you've tried, you're kind of like, oh, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I'm doing something else now. I'm going to put another shirt in the closet of my life. And I can have all these different shirts from these different things that I've done.
I love that.
And I love that you found something else. It's, it's tangential to what we do. And obviously all of the skills that you have, for, being on camera, being, voice acting, being on stage, things like that. Those were, like I said, those were all little pieces of the puzzle to help you to get to where you are now. And who knows what that next chapter or that next T-shirt's going to be that you're going to be, wanting to go after. I just think it's great. I hate the phrase YOLO. You only live once. I hate that to my core because I am more of a YODO person. You only die once. You get a chance to live every day.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? So
I like that.
So you have to live every day. You have these 24 hours and that's it. I unfortunately am getting to that age where I wake up and friends I had in high school are no longer with us. I have friends that are younger than me that are no longer with us because, they were in a car accident or this or some health thing came up out of nowhere that they didn't even know. So I am very much, you only die once. You have to live every day.
And I think you touched on something with the bold choices, and I'm not great at social media. I mean, people are like, oh, I like your social media. I mean, okay, I appreciate that, but I'm not an active participant. I'm not a content creator. I am a sharer, if the thing, blows up my skirt, I'm like, hey, let's go post this or let's talk about this thing. But one of the things that's kind of been an accidental compliment in my life is that people are seeing just again, the risks, the jumps, the go for it, the how hard can it be mentality, and are finding inspiration in that. And it's certainly, I just put myself out there, but it has certainly been something that I forget. And let me tell you a really fast story to support that message. I was at one of the many things. I was a retail bank manager, not the right job for Jen Greenfield. Let me be clear. But I was at some sort of little banking conference, and this man was talking about something about his wife. And I'm over here like, what the heck's wrong with her? I don't remember even the context, but not like in a, yeah, it sounds judgy, but I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, she's a woman. And like, come on. And he stopped me and he said, Jen, not everyone is like you. He wasn't being ugly, but it did give me pause to go, yeah, I'm over here like, come on, girl power, go for it. Take the risk, try the thing. And I have to be reminded that while I want to be that for other people, other women, a lot of people are insecure and scared and maybe don't think they can do it. And so anyway, my point to that was that, as I was saying, when I start sharing all these different things I'm doing, people they're listening and encouraged. I had someone go, I decided to revisit a story that I wrote a long time ago that I hadn't thought I'd ever revisit, but I've seen how much, you're writing and you're excited about it. And now I'm kind of excited about it too. And, so it's nice to be able to share all these different things and to show, because this is very important to me, you're not one thing. Yeah. You're not what you do.
Oh yeah.
You are a flower with 1,000 different petals on it, right? Or you can be, you don't have to just be the stem and be like, I'm only this, I only do voice. Why? Why not open yourself up? Again, make the choice, take a risk, and just try lots of things.
Yeah. And, and sometimes that's easier said than done. Because,
you're exactly right.
Because, change is scary. You have 14 different households you have been in, 14 different cities, 14 different lives you've lived, and 14 different circles of influence that communities you created, circles around you that you created, were a part of, that give you more understanding of that because of that transient mindset. Like you even said, you're like, every 2 years, this is going to change. Yep. They may say, oh no, we're going to extend 1 year, but okay, it's still going to change. Where am I going? Yep. Where are they sending me? And you don't know. You don't know until you see the paperwork and you're like, well, great. Manhattan.
Here we go.
And you're like, Manhattan, awesome. No.
Kansas.
Manhattan, Kansas. You're like, son of I didn't even know that existed. Yeah. So
no, you are bang on. And it's funny because some people would look at my life, I bet, and go, how miserable to move every 2 to 3 years and you can't make friends or you can't get a job or you don't have a home base. And funny, right? I would look at other people who've never left their town and maybe think, oh, that's so sad. Like they've never gone anywhere. It's perspective. You are so bang on. Yeah.
But I think it's important. And I feel like I'm like you, that we have that in common. And I have it on my social media. I consider where you put all of your ERs, what are you, as you're describing yourself, I'm a voice actor, I'm a director, I have on there that I am a fierce encourager because, you want to do something, I'm going to be like, yes, let's make it happen. I know a person that does this, or I know a location that'd be great for that, or I know, this, that. How can I connect you to the thing that you want to do that is going to spark that ember within you to turn into a flame. And it costs
you nothing.
Yeah.
It costs you nothing to be kind, to be encouraging, to connect.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've done that for me. You've already reached out. I'm happy to say, unexpectedly. And other folks have done. Hey, Jen, I saw this workshop and I thought of you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. And guess what? Now I want to make sure that I'm giving back. What a beautiful kindness circle.
Yeah.
Right. I love it.
And and the thing is when you do it and you don't expect, and you don't expect anything in return. I don't expect it. It's not like a favor that has to be repaid. It's like, this is right because this is right. I'm going to do this because you know what? Why not? Because otherwise I could sit here and, I thought of Jen, but I'm not going to let her know about this, even though it's something I wouldn't do, but it might be something that would be advantageous for her or whomever it would be. So it's like, again, cost me nothing but a couple of seconds out of the day to either send a text or a call. I'm, and I've said this several times on this podcast, I'm big on if someone crosses my mind, I will send a message. If I'm lucky to have your cell number, I will text you directly. Otherwise, I'm hitting you on Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger or whatever. Just like, hey, you crossed my mind. Hope things are good. Take care. That's it. You don't have to respond. But I feel like there's a reason when people cross your mind for certain things. And I don't know what it is and I don't need to know. But I just want to do my part in saying, hey, thought about you. Hope all's well. And I mean it. You know what I mean? And that's where
I know you do.
And that's where it could end. And that's all it has to be. But you just have to be the type of person that is willing to say, this is weird. Okay, yeah. And as a man texting a married woman, that could come off as weird. Like, I was thinking of you. It's like, no, it's not like that. I was just, for whatever reason, I'm sitting here doing my taxes and you cross my mind. It's like, all right, hey, Jen, hope things are good.
Now, my poor husband, he didn't have a prayer, and he'll laugh about this. First of all, he is like absolutely the least jealous man ever. But it's funny, like I have my gym. I'm on a Wordle chats with people, like where we chat. So I'm like, I've got my gyms. I'm on a group chat with 2 gyms. I've got Mike. I've got John and Mike, who are on my, who are my other guys. And then like anytime like I'm on set, inevitably I have a husband. So I'm always just like, oh yeah, well, I had to do this with my husband, and my kids are just like, wait, what? And they've understand it now, but I'm like, oh yes, I've had multiple husbands at this point, and I have all these men in my life, but that you kind of talked about the tomboy thing. I am absolutely stereotypical Sagittarius, like, no BS kind of girl, like always. I was climbing trees. I would even ask my mom to cut my hair when I was on the t-ball team because like I wanted to look like a boy. I don't know. Like I just kind of wanted to like, just be rough and tumble. And it is absolutely part of who I am. And then going into construction, where I was like, if the guys can do it.
Right. Yeah. Why can't I? Why can't I? Yeah.
Which led to, which I didn't mention, not that it's a brag, but it's just kind of like a little, I did something. I'm a host for Lowe's. They have a How to Anything series. It's a DIY channel for folks. And when I pitched it, they have another female host, and she's perfectly lovely, but she doesn't do any of the building or, things like that. And so when I connected with the senior creative director, I'm like, look, I would love to represent women in a male-dominated space, but like, I know how to change a toilet. I know how to use every single power tool that I could find in any Lowe's, anywhere. And they were like, we love it. We're in. You're in. Like, let's do it. So it's been really cool that's just been one more little notch, that I get to go, making waves. And just, again, you're a mantra person. I'm a mantra. If you never ask, the answer is always no. So if you've got something you're interested in that you're thinking about, ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Yeah. And you could start by just asking your friend, hey, do you think, and if you get lucky enough to have a Jen Greenfield in your life, and they're like, yes, do it. Find a person,
and then we're going to tell Rob so he can say,
because he knows somebody. I guarantee you, he knows someone, and he will tell that person, and he will introduce you. Yeah. It's, and that's the thing is that first step is often the hardest one,
100%.
To like, cause you're putting yourself out there. And so to at least just vocalize it. I love Andy Roth. He's a casting director.
Yeah.
And coach. And his thing is like, Don't just say it in your mind, because your mind is your imagination and it is not real, and your body does not respond to that like it does when you physically do something. So physically say it out loud. Physically say the words out loud to yourself, to the mirror, to a friend, because that changes that brain chemistry and it literally becomes real, and you think about it differently then.
I mean, what more is there to say? I mean, that is absolutely, you write it down, you say it out loud. So you'll laugh. Again, to know me for a minute, I would talk to a tree trunk if I thought, like we'd get somewhere with the conversation.
Turn it into a rose bush. Right?
Yeah, if we could. But I, like with this screenplay, I've written it and I keep refining it, just to really make it just absolutely a piece of gold. But the other part of it is you have to, it does become part of my daily conversation, when I'm chatting with people, because again, you never know. Hey, I post about it and maybe you happen to see the post and go, oh, Jen, I know somebody who can support that. But I'd be a fool if I wasn't actively sharing it with other people. Right. And so the other day, the Jehovah Witness showed up at my door. And she's, telling me about the good news. And I'm like, that's excellent. Also, I'm looking for an investor for my holiday rom-com. So can I have your paperwork? Here's my business card. If you think of it, and she was just like, I don't know that I know anyone, but I was like, well, you're pitching me. I'm going to pitch you.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You're going to give me. That's how this is working.
That's just how so we play this game.
That's how this works. Yeah.
My daughter was like, who are you talking to? I was like, oh, it was Jehovah's Witness. Anyway.
It's Christmas carolers. I was just letting them know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's awesome. And seeing as we have been talking about it, let's talk more about the holiday rom-com. What was the inspiration like that? You're like, I'm going to write something. I'm going to assume that was the first thing, or was it an idea and you're like, ooh, let me write that down in a note in my phone, and then I'm going to come back to that.
Okay, so this is a perfect way to cap this section, because everything we've talked about completely brings us to how this happened.
Yeah.
So Jen, super active, doing the thing. Well, my knee is bugging me. It's been bugging me for years. And I'm just like, and I kept getting Baker's cyst. And if any of your listeners know, they know it's this nasty bulge on the back of your knee. It's gross. And like the only way to get rid of it, two things, they stick a huge needle in it and suck all the juice out. Sorry, listeners. Or they do an MRI and go, yeah, your meniscus is torn to shit. And you need to have surgery. And I was like, no, I can't be down, because I love lifting weights and I'm active and always just going. Well, the universe said, sit down. So I have an incredible orthopedic surgeon. She did an amazing job. So she gets my meniscus all cute and tidy. Well, it's December. So literally December 2025.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there I am. It's December. I'm sitting on the couch. I got this big ice contraption I ordered off Amazon. And got pillows stacked up. I got coffee. I'm just like, and what do? I turn on the TV and it's nothing but holiday, Christmas, Hallmark stuff. And I'm watching them. And I, again, can't tell you why. And this is the story and I stand by it. Something a portal opened in my brain. And even the orthopedic surgeon, I'm telling her this whole story. And she's like, Jen, I'm wondering if maybe the anesthesia, seriously, broke open something. When I tell you that this just hit me. Oh, and by the way, my husband had to go out of town for work. So I operate really well alone. He doesn't always like to hear that. Guys don't like to hear, we're good. But he deployed all the time and stuff. So, the kids and I just do our thing. So he leaves. So it's kind of like the kids are doing their thing and I'm okay. I get my computer and when I tell you I start writing, I'm told it's called flow state.
Mm-hmm.
I went into a flow state and I've never written a screenplay before. I quickly did some research, like structure and whatever.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, Steve Snyder, he's been doing some screenwriting, and he told me about this app you can download called Writer Duet, and it'll format. So you just type in it, and it'll help, format and make sure everything looks right. So I download that, and I just start typing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm typing, and I'm screaming at the kids, hey, I need you to switch out my water on my knee. I can't get up. I can't stop typing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make myself pee. Rob, I didn't eat for like 3 days. I'm up till 2 a.m. I'm telling you, I couldn't type fast enough. And this story is just pouring out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is the story, you might ask? Well, it's based on my husband and my relationship. Shocker. Our protagonist is a female who runs her own construction business, who's hyper independent, has no interest in love or relationships. She's been burned in the past. Anyway, is a little tropey, sure, but also it's everybody's over 40 and we're not, and she meets, while my husband is older than me, I did change. I was like, we're going to make them about the same age just because we don't ever see that. Because oftentimes you either see the protagonist, the woman either has a love interest who's like 10 years younger than her, which nobody needs a third kid. Yeah. And then, or he's like way older. Yeah. So anyway, I made him the same age. But yeah, so anyway, it all like life, experiences, characters all start finding their way into this screen. And then a lovely voice actor, Allie Murphy, she sends me a message. She goes, hey, Jen, I was just listening to some podcasts and I thought I'd send this to you. And you want to know what it was called? A writer and producer for Hallmark tell you how to get in your Hallmark movie produced. And I was like, oh okay. Yes. I will listen
serendipity.
Yeah, I will listen to this. Then I connect with those two people. While the screenwriter, she does like a feedback mentoring thing. I'm like, you know what? So I pay her and she provides feedback. We get on a Zoom call that's supposed to last an hour. It lasts 3. We totally brainstorm all of these, just how to really, raise the stakes and cause tension and make it fun, all these extra little bennies. Anyway, and just everything after that, you reaching out. Another voice actor, oh my God, her name, hello, perimenopause. Her name has just left me. Anyway, she reaches out to me. She's like, Jen, I need to connect you with this other producer. Somebody else said, hey, I know someone. Can I email them your script? Yes. Yes. Wow. To everything. So this has been that little sprout of the ground of that flower coming out going, you know what? People are helping me water it. They're helping me nurture it. And this is that unexpected thing that I didn't know was going to grow. And to your Andy Roth point, I'm writing it down. I'm saying it out loud. This screenplay, this feature is going to get made. And it's all thanks to the community of people who are loving me and supporting me and cheering me on. And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There you go. I said it out loud. Get ready, everybody. You're going to have a date night.
I believe it. I believe it's going to happen. A date night movie. And I'm excited about it when it does happen, because, that again, it's the passion you have for it, that fire you have helping to ignite other embers to turn into a fire that then also get excited about what you're doing, but also the possibility of the things that they could do as well. It's just, I'm just so excited for it and for when it comes about, not if, when it does come about.
That's how you have to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is, it's going to happen. And it's gonna be amazing.
I'm so glad to have you along for the journey. I really mean that. You have just been so supportive and lovely. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's because me feeding off of your passion for it, and also I'm a big holiday I'm a big softy period, but I also I am the Christmas guy, and it's just I'm like that. My mother's favorite channel was the Hallmark Channel, and she would watch that year round, and so she loved all the stories, but especially the Christmas stories because she made Christmas special for us, growing up and things like that.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be a part of the things that make you feel good. I want to be a part of the things that encourage you, that I don't like to say empowered, because you already have the power, for you to recognize your power and use it. And like you said, you like to give kindness and support and reminders that reminding people that they're special. Yeah. And I think that's what those movies do. They give you a little escape and joy. Yeah,
100%. 100%. And speaking of joy, Jen, what is bringing you joy right now? Aside from the writing, aside from the pursuit of the movie, what's bringing you joy?
That's a great question. Being alive. And I want to share something personal. A couple years ago, my husband had a pretty extreme personal event that happened. And through that, we faced some things. We had some conversations that were, after 20 years of marriage, never on our radar. It has led to him actually, while still working full time, he is pursuing a second master's degree in clinical psychology through Pepperdine. And he stepped back and said, you know what? He's 56 years old. He's like, how am I going to spend the rest of my life? I want to be present, and I want to help people. And it was an opportunity for me to do a lot of self-reflecting as well. And, we talked about the manifesting. One of the things that came into my life was somebody said, you need to tell yourself how lucky you are. And so what has happened over the last few years is, and that brings me joy, is realizing how lucky I am. I feel lucky that I'm me. All the things that I could get upset about myself, I'm like, I'm strong, I'm outspoken, I'm really honest. I have hard boundaries. I, maybe just could view those things as negative. And instead I'm like, golly, no, I'm a powerful, strong, independent woman, and who has good intentions and a good heart and does things for the right reasons. I have a family that, God, my kids are amazing. And when I see, I connect with other parents or in other situations, and they're like, God, my this, and this. And then I go, oh my gosh, I am so lucky that I'm not working, dealing with that. The other day, I read another thing that said, it was talking about the manifesting, but it said something that I'll be curious your thoughts, because I don't say this out loud or even really think it. It said, waking up financially secure. Have you ever thought like that was you just wake up and you're like, I'm in my bed, I'm in my house, I go in the kitchen, I can get drinking water, I get my food. And I was like, no, I need to be saying that out loud. Yeah. How lucky I am that I wake up safe. I don't feel like somebody's going to barrel through my door. I don't feel like if I go outside, I need to protect. I am safe and financially secure. But higher above that, music. Music always brings me joy. It writes me. If I'm off, I either listen to really sad songs to kind of, swim around in it, get under that rain cloud, or I listen to music that's upbeat. Then it makes me want to work out, right? We get endorphins going. But music is, and then sometimes I'll actually sit down to the piano, and I'm not a trained pianist. That's my daughter. I am a hack, but I can accompany myself. I'll sing a song that just feeds my soul and just feels right. And, but music, 1,000,000%. Lucky in my life brings me joy. Recognizing it and saying it out loud brings me joy. And then music. And I love all kinds of music. What about you? Do you like music? What kind of music do you like?
Oh, I listen to everything.
I know. I'm the same.
I have
way.
a huge. It's like if I ever get the aux, people are like, "What is this playlist?" I'm like, that's my recently played. What are you talking about? That is
welcome to my world.
I'm going from the soundtrack from Avenue Q to like some Pavarotti to some.
Oh,
some
you
jazz,
are my. Yep.
Preservation Hall Jazz Band it's all over the place. Some Outcast gets thrown in there, and
But isn't music just so powerful?
Oh yeah. It's a they say it's a universal language, because you can say so much with music without even having any words, or the words you don't have to understand the words that are being said to be able to feel that emotion and that connection to whatever the music is. So yeah, I'm a huge music fan. I mean, that's one reason why I got into radio 30 years ago. Is like the music's in me. So
there's your radio voice.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's just it's something that I'm that annoying person that has a lyric for any conversation. Kind of like movie quotes.
Song lyrics.
Yeah, kind of like movie quotes for whatever the situation is. But it's like I got song lyrics and songs I can sing to pretty much anything. So it's.
Oh my gosh, I joke that would be like a character in my next screenplay, is that person who always answers with song lyrics, because I am oh my gosh, I love that more about you. I am absolutely the same way. Even to my kids just roll their eyes, but they love music too. They love music too, which I'm, again, also very lucky. We always have music going in the house. My children are musicians themselves. My husband plays guitar. But it does. It can affect your mood. It can calm you. It can cheer you. Like I said, and there's nothing wrong with being sad in it too. Okay, here's my question. I'm turning the interview around. Are you a melody or a lyrics person?
I'm both.
Yeah.
Because I write poetry too. So.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean,
lyrics matter.
Lyrics do matter, but also, like I said, a melody, matters too. And you can again, bring someone to tears with just when you think about just a transition of these same, if you go by a piano, 88 notes, these are the 88 notes of music, and how you transition, how quickly, your pace, your tempo, legato, staccato, forte, all of these things. And you can cause someone to cry. You can cause someone to cheer. You could cause someone to feel pride in their chest, without speaking a word. It's amazing. It's magic. It's, but lyrics too. But there are lyrics that sometimes there are lyrics that are more beautiful than the music that is put up against.
Agreed. Agreed.
There's not that this is just an example I thought of as right now, but like, do you remember the song from Aha, Take on Me? Yeah. Say, take on me. It's a great song. Probably about 10 years ago, they did an unplugged version of that song, slowed it down, and made it a ballad. Now, they're all 20 years older than when they released the song. So the meaning behind it is so completely different. If you can find that on YouTube to watch that and to listen to that. I wish they would release it somewhere, but they didn't. But it's on like an MTV.
Really? Yeah, no, now I have to look it up.
Yeah, it's like on an MTV Unplugged. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put a link in the show notes so that listeners can find it. But yeah, those words change completely by the music that is put behind them. So yeah.
I even heard read. Well, it was just a video, but with words on it, talking about a Hanson song. And it may even have been their bop song, but the lyrics were like shockingly profound, but it was just this teeny bopper beat that it got put to. But like when you talk about, so I'm just going to throw this out here, because when you talk about poetry, for me, the two greatest poetic, lyrical, brilliant songwriters, Simon and Art Garfunkel and the Indigo Girls. The words the word choice, we're not just saying pink, we're saying something so much deeper and colorful and exciting. And golly, they are poets who happen to be songwriters because they are just incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
100%. And another one like Billy Joel.
Oh, for sure.
When you say that, I think of like his song Vienna. If you've not heard that song recently,
I've played it. But, yeah, for the group. Yeah.
Slow down. You're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time. It's like,
love it.
It's like, what inspiration is that to life? It's like, hey, it's okay. Don't panic. Consider yourself lucky. You can't be everything you want to be before it's your time. So slow down. You're doing just fine.
And in all things, I'm so glad you said that. That is such a beautiful example. But this is one of the things that I also, when we talked about the chapters in my life, the chapters in anyone's life, you were a different person during that chapter. So when my kids go, Mama, why don't you go back to stage, or why don't you teach dance again? I'm a completely different person. But I also send folks a message too, that I also wouldn't be where I am and doing what I'm doing, to your point with the lyrics of Before Your Time, if I tried to do it at a different time. I would not be I'm a working actor, both in voiceover but on camera, but certainly on camera, I play mom a lot. And I don't care. Typecast me all day long. You want to keep booking me? Right. Let's go. Hugh Grant's done quite well being typecasted. But the point being, circumstances have whatever. I'm just talking kind of like about age and life experience. If I tried to do this, if I'm like, I want to do this at 30. Yeah. It wasn't my time. It wasn't the right chapter. And so patience, oh my gosh, as a creative, come on now. Those words do not belong in the same sentence at all. So as part of growing, just as a person, being able to step back and recognize there's all the things I still want to try, but going backwards, I was just a different age, a different person, a different energy.
A different set of knees.
Different. Oh,
touche.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm so glad you brought that up. And so just kind of to even tie in more with this conversation is, being able to try things, but if it's not happening right now, maybe it's not, nobody wants to hear that. But if you're expending to the expense of your health, of your well-being, of your finances, of your family life, of having a life, maybe it's not the right time. So slow down. Ooh, so glad you brought that up. So glad you mentioned that. Because, each chapter, you're just a different person.
All right, Jen, this is the second segment of the show. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into your mental health journey. I definitely believe, everybody has down days. If you don't want to say you have depression or anxiety or whatever, but everybody has a down day. Sometimes you just get up and you don't want to get out of bed. But the more we talk about it, the easier it gets, So for you, how do you keep the darkness at bay?
You told me you were going to ask me that, and it's a wonderful question. It could be puddle deep and it could be ocean deep on answering it. Earlier on in this segment, I talked about, the power of music. I'm still going to say, music, still looking around and recognizing how lucky I am and the joy that I have and the people in my life that I have chosen, the people I have allowed to let go, that I've needed to, people use the term toxic. I don't love it. It's a big, strong word. But it can come in many forms, right? Water can kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Even this, kind of basic things. So 2 parts, I would say. One is community, aligning, even social media. I know that's a huge part of a lot of people's mental health battles, is comparison or doom scrolling and those kinds of things. But even making sure that my social media is what I want to look at. Like, I think social media has a place, and I find joy in it. But I also follow people and accounts that are fun or teach me something or have history or, just make me think. And so I'm strategic about that. The people in my life, I'm strategic about that. Feeding off the positive, taking moments to myself. But then this was the other thing I was trying to get to, and I got off track a little bit. You have to try. You also have to try. You have to make an effort. You said it earlier in the last segment. You have to try to reach out to people. You have to try to make the friendships work, especially when you are a parent or even just, an adult and you're busy and you're working. It is very easy to commit to this, come home, eat dinner, go to bed, rinse, recycle, repeat. You have to make an effort reaching out to people, send the message, make the phone call, and just being like, hey, I just need, we just have to make this work. You have to make friendships work. You have to make community work. So I can do these things in my life and then hope it comes to me and feeds my soul and it keeps the darkness at bay. But then the other side of it is I need to do my part and reach out to other people as well and make an effort. So I also just think I know myself. I always say I'm not a person who, if by clinical definition is depressed, would be depressed. But knowing Jen Greenfield's energy and, if I'm always here, I have my version of depressed, right? It's maybe not that definition, but I may be just kind of feeling down. I don't want to go for my walk. I don't want to work out. And it's again, not clinical, but also it's just like, okay, so when you say that, what do I need to do? I need to reach out. I can talk to my husband too, of course. Listen to some music. Call Rob. But I just, again, I want to be in a world of that positivity and to have people like you and other friends that I have who they reach out when you're quiet. Have you heard that? Like people who, they'll comment all on your social media, but then if you don't post for a while, who reaches out? And I like that because I think that's when you need a minute, when you're not present, you're not calling, you're not posting, those things kind of happen. Who's there? And I just have I've culled it down to a quality over quantity community of family, friends, colleagues. And it's recognizing how lucky I am and then being around people who lift me up.
And with your personality, as you've discussed here, it's almost a different type of, like you said, being down, because you can't be on 100 all the time. It gets exhausting and you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't, you know what I mean? You have to recharge. And how does that recharge look for you in those days? It's like, today's a down day. I don't, like I said, don't want to go for a walk. I don't want to work out. And it's okay to rest.
Yes.
It's okay to rest, to recharge. And I think you have to give yourself that permission to say, hey, in your words, how lucky am I to do all the things I am, and how lucky am I to take a moment to rest?
That's so good.
Because
I'm not. My husband's a napper. Oh my gosh.
I took a nap before we had this interview.
Good for you. Good for you. I, again, am a work in progress. So while I may not nap, I'll lay down and read.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you're saying that, like, because I am. My husband thinks I have like a nuclear generator, like located somewhere in my body, because I just go dusk till dawn. I'm just constantly go, go, go. But, I like that. Yeah. Reminding yourself it's okay. It's okay to say no. Now I'm good at saying no. And I'm actually the encourager. My friends will tell you that I'm like, say no.
Mm-hmm.
Say no.
Mm-hmm.
I am good at saying no, but the resting part, that I love that. So see, you're helping me here too. You're identifying some things that I'm not articulating. It's saying I need to rest. Mm-hmm. I need to just chill. It doesn't have to look like a nap, but it needs to be downtime. It needs to be not stimulated, you can sit, but still be looking at your phone.
Right.
And that's not rest, so calming the mind, doing some meditations. Oh my gosh, there's even 5-minute meditations. But let me tell you, when you're somebody who's go, 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 go,
mm-hmm.
to stop for 5 minutes feels like an hour.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can I not even prioritize? I can't, but you know what I mean. Asking yourself, why does 5 minutes feel like this massive inconvenience? And what a refresh, what a restart to just put it down. And then you go, what if I did it for 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how I would feel after that.
Yeah. But
you make a great point.
Yeah, it's a new sensation for you. And you're like, all right, how do I work this into, how do I work this into my life to be a part of that helps me be a better version of myself, to give myself that grace to rest, because I am going. And I know I'm still going to be able to do all these other things, but to take a moment to, rub the dog's belly, to go for a walk, not for exercise, but for experiencing nature, for seeing the flora and the fauna on the path around your home or wherever it is, to go to a local greenway you've not gone before, or a botanical garden, and just experience, not for exercise, but to feed your soul visually and aurally from the sounds of nature and things like that, the smells of those type of things. And
I'm going to go for a walk. You can just finish this up. I'm going to... No.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying and to give yourself that permission to do that's okay. You're not falling behind because you gave yourself 10 minutes to sit on the porch and have a cup of coffee and leave the phone inside and to just listen to the wind. All right, you're in Arizona. You're not going to sit outside in 115 degrees drinking coffee right now, but maybe at the morning, when the sunrise or the sunset or something like that, and to say, yeah, this is okay. This is part of what all that other stuff allows me to have. Doing all that other work gives me the ability to take this moment.
Bingo.
Bingo.
One of the things that I started doing last year, again, I also think to myself, like, we're not thinking about this, is grounding. So I get barefoot. I mean, you literally, we don't wear shoes in the house, but beside the point, but literally you could be in shoes, if you think about it, from the minute you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Your feet are covered, most people. So taking your shoes off, standing on the ground, the dirt in your yard. I've been doing that, and I'll go out and I'll invite the kids. I'm like, anybody who wants to come, they'll go. Even my kids know, they're like, oh, Mom, are you going to go grounding? I'm like, yep. So in the afternoon, like you said, I'll get a cup of coffee. It's not long because yes, it's a zillion trillion degrees. And you'd laugh. I have a picture on social media where I'm trying to ground and I'm sitting on the ground. But all I have in my front yard are 2 palm trees. So I'm sitting in the shadow of the skinny. I'm like acting this out. On the other end, I'm like sitting in the shadow of the skinny palm tree. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm sort of in the shade. It's hysterical. Anyway, but I've started grounding because reconnecting with earth, just the energy and the vibe. And again, you are touching on something that you're reminding me I need to do. And I think it's important for other listeners. I think we're both learning and you're teaching me and reminding me. And I think others are going to catch this too, is if I feel that I don't even have 10 minutes in my day for me, for rest, for grounding, to just stand outside and just be, how am I prioritizing my day? What a fantastic, thoughtful question that I need to revisit. If I feel stressed that I can't even take a few minutes, do a 5-minute meditation, I'm going to miss something. I got to check my email. I can do it, but I got to have my phone with me. What the heck happened to us? 90s kids, we didn't have anything. We stayed out all night. We didn't have, I almost never watched TV when I was a kid. I was too busy playing and flashlight tag and climbing trees and, playing baseball and whatever. But now we're just so digitally and just, I tell my son all the time, I'm like, it's constant stimulation. But yeah, so what a great, you're giving me something to think about. And maybe you schedule it. And that even sounds lame that you're like, yes, I'm so important and I'm so busy that I must schedule, 10 minutes to myself, peaceful time. But I'm so glad you brought it up because it's got me thinking.
But see, that's part of it too. If you have to schedule it, you are the type of person, as you said, that sets strong boundaries. And you need to set a strong boundary for yourself. Don't allow yourself to break that boundary either. Because again, if you're doing all this other stuff and you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor, I tell my wife all the time, it's like, you know what? Do I want to go out tonight? It'd be nice, but you know what? Let's enjoy the mortgage. And let's just sit here in the house. And we got everything we love right here. Let's just enjoy the mortgage. So if you're so busy that you can't enjoy the life you're building, there's a priority shift that needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm so glad this veered down this little alleyway. But you're right, and so it's going to be. I think it's good for everybody to think about. But yeah, I'll definitely, reassess my priorities. It's just so true.
All right, Jen, this is the third segment of the show. It's time now for the Fast Five. The Fast Five.
Let's go.
It's time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five. Sorry, I'm still working on a theme song for this segment.
I don't know. It's kind of catchy.
I'm going to work it out. The Fast Five is powered by Poddex. It's an app created by my friend Travis Brown. If you go to chewingthefatbr.com/Poddex, it'll take you to your favorite app store where you can download it. It's made for podcasters, but they're great icebreaker questions as well. Okay. I didn't
know about it.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh,
cool.
Great. Okay, I'm going to check it out. All right, let's go.
No wrong answers. Just first thing comes to the top of your mind. You ready? All right.
I don't know. Is the audience ready? Because we just don't know what's going to come out.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Are there any local dishes or food products from any of your 14 places that you lived or grew up that you absolutely miss from where you are right now?
Yes. And we just brought it up last night. It is a restaurant called Savos, and it doesn't exist anymore. When we lived in Germany, really fast, Savos was like 1 block down from our house, and it was run by a Muslim man, and he absolutely loved us. And when I got pregnant, and this is also just, cultural. When I got pregnant, we would go down there, or my husband would go down there, and he would literally serve us the food on the dishes that they serve in the restaurant, and he just put foil over it, and he just said, "Bring them back when you're done."
Oh.
And so I'd have French onion soup in the big old,
crock.
The crock.
Yeah.
And and we just wash it, and then he'd just send us home with silverware and plates and bowls. So Savos.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Question number 2. What's the most annoying bill you have to pay?
Right now in Arizona, the electric bill.
There we go.
Let's just go. There we go. We're going to go with electric bill.
There we go. Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing.
I was about to say, they just raised the rate over here where we are. Dominion just raised the rate. So I'm like, right, now I got to pay more. And we're using it more. So yay.
Yeah. Electric. No, there you go. I like it.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's a good one. All right. Question number 3. Do you prefer live action or cartoon superhero shows?
Live action.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Also, because I kind of, I want to be cast in one.
There you go. I get that.
So there you go.
Well, see, I would like to be cast in a cartoon superhero
show. Do the voice.
Show.
I know, yes.
So
okay.
So I can see it. I can see either way. Question number 4. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over. If you say anything else, we are not friends. You're out. See you later. Goodbye. Jeez, I can't even believe that's a question. And if I come in your house and it's under, oh yeah, I'm turning it over. I'm a fixer, folks.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, no hesitation on that one.
All right. And question number 5. If you could learn any language fluently, what would it be?
Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Okay.
And my son's going to start, and I need to start. My husband did Spanish. We got to commit.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is on her 4th year of Japanese in high school, and we're like,
wow.
And the kids both had learned Hebrew as part of their B'nai mitzvahs, but you don't use it. And I learned a lot of German when we lived in Germany. I only spoke to my kids in German when they were babies.
Oh, wow.
But then once we moved stateside, I didn't have anybody to talk to. So, but nope, Spanish, especially in the contracting world. I can speak, they laugh at me Spanish, gringo right. Spanish.
Right.
I can get by, but
you're making an effort Spanish.
Good try. Yeah. Where I say hola and then like 6 different things in English, and then I try 3 more words. And anyway, we all need to commit to that. My gosh, come on, priorities once again.
It's a useful language. Definitely a useful language. Well, that is our 5th question. That's our Fast 5, and that is the show. Jen, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If folks want to keep up with you and the holiday rom-com, or your on-screen, or your voice acting, or what's the best way that they could do that?
Man, I like Instagram. Come follow me on Instagram. Let's play.
Okay.
Mama Greenfield. I'm Mama Greenfield kind of everywhere, but I'm most active on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So yeah, come connect with me. Let's play. And Rob, thank you. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
It was the, friendship. It was the therapy session. It was the the laughter, the joy that I needed for today, the reflection that I needed for today, and I am. What a wonderful opportunity. I'm so honored you invited me to be on. So thank you.
Thank you. And I do. I love you. I love what you're doing. Cannot wait to see this movie or help you get it made.
Yes.
And the holiday rom-com and, of course, all the other stuff that you got going on. I wish you nothing but success in all of it.
Thank you. And anytime you want to let me know you're thinking about me, you just... you just let me know. You're such a doll. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. And if you would like to support this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com. But until next time, I look forward to the chance we have to sit a spell and chew the fat.